and welcome to our final week of Kingdom Seekers. I thought before we begin, we could just do a little review of the whole Bible, thanks to the Bible Project. Let's take a look.
Bible is an important book, but it's really long.
It's a collection of many books written over a long period of time, but together they tell one unified story.
So, what's the story of the Bible?
It starts by introducing us to a beautiful mind, the author of all reality, a being called God. He has the power to take the dark chaos of the uncreated world and bring about order and beauty in a garden full of life.
After this amazing accomplishment of creating the world, God made these creatures called humanity.
Or in Hebrew, Adam.
And they're made as God's image.
Being made as God's image means they're given the responsibility of ruling this beautiful world on God's behalf. God wanted them to do something good with the awesome potential of the world.
This is a story about humans using the power God's given them to do the meaningful, life-giving work.
Humanity faces this choice that's represented by a fruit tree. Humans could partner with God and find freedom by trusting His definition of good and evil.
Or
they could take hold of power and decide on their own. God warns them that doing this will kill them.
Then they hear the voice of this dark and mysterious creature that says the choice is simple. Take the fruit. It will give you power and you will be able to rule the world the way you want to.
And so they listen to the dark creature and take this knowledge. Then they become suspicious and focused only on protecting themselves. It messes up their relationships and leads to violence and fighting for power, and eventually a whole civilization, Babylon, that has redefined evil as good. And so, God scatters this corrupted human project.
And here, the story of the Bible takes an important turn. We zoom into the story of a man and a woman who come out of Babylon, Abraham and Sarah.
God promises that the descendants of Abraham and Sarah will be a nation that has another chance to make the right choice. And if this nation does make the right choice, it will give the rest of humanity a new way to go forward in life.
This is why the rest of the Bible story is about this family.
And it does not go well. Even though God was with them and personally guiding them, Abraham's family still gave into that same temptation to ignore God's way and decide what is good and what is evil on their own. So Israel's own prophets warned them that these bad choices would lead them back to Babylon. Only this time, they would be prisoners forced to live away from their homeland. And that's exactly what happened.
Even with God's personal guidance, Israel fails. Then who can succeed?
The prophet said the story wasn't over. God's going to send a new leader to Israel to cover for their failure and to transform the people's hearts and minds so that they can make the right choice.
And so, the part of the Bible called the Old Testament ends, and these promises are left unsettled.
Then the biblical story continues into the New Testament. Here we are introduced to a man who comes from the line of Israel's kings, Jesus of Nazareth. And he said that he was completing all of these promises.
And that dark, mysterious evil, Jesus stood up to it and resisted its power.
Then he announced that God had arrived to rule the world through himself. Jesus taught about God's definition of good and evil, and he said that real power is serving others. According to Jesus, it's people who love the poor and even love their enemies. These are the kinds of people who actually rule the world.
And that's confusing, but also really beautiful.
And so is the next part of the story about Jesus. It says that he is God become human to be for Israel and for all humanity what we could never be for ourselves. He came to take the consequences of our evil into himself, and his sacrificial love proved more powerful than evil and even death itself.
So now humanity is faced with a new choice?
Represented by a new tree.
Stick with the old way of being human, or venture into this new way.
And in this story, the ones who choose the way of Jesus are energized by God's own power. People who know that they are loved and forgiven by God can become people who love and forgive others.
The Jesus movement quickly spread throughout the world, forming new communities of these people who follow the way of Jesus.
But they faced problems. Powerful people on the outside were cruel and mistreated them. And inside the Jesus communities, there was confusion and even believers turning away from the truth. And so leaders of the Jesus movement called the apostles. These guys wrote letters to to comfort the communities, and to challenge them to stay faithful to the difficult way of Jesus.
And they're called to hope for the day when Jesus will come and change everything.
And so the Bible ends by pointing to the future day when all wrongs are made right, when evil is eliminated, heaven and earth are united, and humanity can rule the world together in the love and power of God.
Okay, I'm quite excited to see the finale of The Kingdom Seekers. Here we go.
Cricket Creek is a quiet little town. There's a gazebo and a post office and a burger stand that serves homemade root beer. If you stay long enough, you will discover an old submarine hatch in the forest behind the town. Open the hatch and you will find a ladder that leads deep underground into a secret bunker. Welcome to Cricket Creek, home of the Kingdom Seekers.
Okay, so they find another egg, which I'm guessing has a riddle inside.
You're catching on.
The question, can they get it down?
Yeah, that part was a challenge for our lovable sheriff.
Yes! Nice. Good work, guys. Okay, let's Sheriff Flock handle this one. Yeah. Oh, all right, hold on. This kid gotta warm up the jumps, you know. Forgot to limber up. I always do. The one day I don't, weird. I just go on. David. David. 3, 2, 1. Yeah. Almost there, bud. 3.
Okay, guys.
Sure.
Thanks. When brothers forgive, they are set free. Now go to the lemons that hang from the tree.
Brothers.
Lemons. Tom's lemon tree.
Tom's lemon tree. Yep, that's what I was gonna say.
Zach, I told you not to let any more animals into the bunker. What was that? Come on, Zach, stop hooting like an owl. Tell me what happened. Okay, stop. What is going on? You replaced your voice with an owl's, didn't you? Zach, how?
Gates open.
Hold on. We've got very specific protocols for situations like this. Hey, Tom, you home? We're coming in. Okay.
Look!
Why did you stop reading?
This is where this story takes an unusual turn.
A turn? Everything about Cricket Creek is unusual.
Well, brace yourself, because this story has 3 endings.
3?
First, the magic lamp ending. So, everyone crowded over the mysterious box, straining with anticipation as the sheriff turned the key.
What was inside?
The sheriff opened the lid and found a giant,
Yeah?
glowing,
Uh-huh.
golden lamp.
Wow!
Yes, life was easy for the sheriff from that day forward. He became mayor of the town.
Because he was such a good and honest sheriff and everyone loved him.
No. He rubbed the lamp and wished to be mayor.
Huh.
Oh, and his detective novel became a bestseller.
He finally finished writing it.
Writing it? No, that's the hard work. He just rubbed the lamp and his book became a bestseller. even with blank pages.
That's weird.
He didn't even need help from the seekers anymore. Anytime a mystery or riddle came up, he just...
Rub the lamp.
Exactly! Why do you sound disappointed?
I don't know. I mean, I'm glad he gets everything he wants.
But...
It all sounds...
too easy?
Yeah, life isn't like that. Good things don't come easy. You have to...
Go on a journey to get them?
Yeah.
Okay, then let's move on to the choose your own ending.
Ooh, let me try.
Go ahead.
Okay, the sheriff turned the key. When he opened the box, he found
What did he find?
a toaster.
A toaster?
Not just any toaster. It was a robot toaster from the far-off galaxy of Toasteria.
I don't know about this ending.
Hold on. It gets better. Suddenly, mechanical arms and legs sprout from the little guy, and a blinking red beacon goes off on its head,
Beacon?
signaling all Toasterians to descend upon the Earth and start their invasion.
I'm gonna have to stop you right there.
Why?
Because planetary attacks by species of robot toasters is
Epic?
silly.
I guess you're right.
Okay, so the get what you want the easy way ending didn't work. And making up your own ending was kind of weird. So let's go on to the real ending. The sheriff opened the box and found a note.
A note?
It read, "Congratulations, Sheriff. You and the Seekers make a good team. You kept going even when you didn't have all the answers."
They did push through some crazy situations.
The note goes on. To receive your reward, go back to the beginning and dig deeper.
The beginning?
They went back to the station to inspect the box of sand.
The first riddle.
Exactly. Buried deep in the sand, they found the deed to the Cricket Creek Theater.
The prize at the end was right there, in the beginning.
But
he didn't figure that out until he had taken the journey.
exactly.
So, who was behind all those strange riddles?
Actually, that part remains a mystery for now.
Huh?
Think about it. Isn't real life like that? We don't always get the answers we want, but if we seek the truth, we will find the answers we need. Just like the sheriff and the seekers, we go on even when we don't have all the answers.
We learn along the journey.
Bingo.
Okay, I have one more question. Did Zach ever get his voice back? Or is he still running around hooting like an owl?
Well, just kidding. Ali pointed out a very obvious solution to the problem.
What's that?
Take off the helmet. There's an old saying in the Seeker Field Guide that says, "The prize changes what we have. The journey changes who we are." We all want answers. But before there can be answers, there must be questions. A seeker must be willing to embark on the journey for truth with a heart that is ready to receive it. Going through the journey is part of what makes us who we are. It's what challenges us and tests us, changes us. It's the journey that helps us understand how amazing the prize at the end really is.
The journey within the pages tends to spill out into the lives of the one who reads. And in Cricket Creek, the end of one mystery is really the beginning of the next.
Well, thank you, Kingdom Seekers. Let's just take a little peek at a mini review. time it is. It's time to get your praise on. And before we do, I just want to remind you that next week we start a new series called The Potentials.
Your hope is the anchor for my soul. When waters rise, your hand will not let go. Our hope, it is firm because we know you are with us. Jesus Christ, the same today, forever, firm beneath my feet forever. I trust in you. I trust in you. All my life is in your hands. When fear and troubles come our way, we fix our eyes on the author of our faith. Your word and promises sustain. You are with us. Jesus Christ, the same today, forever, firm beneath my feet forever. I trust in you. I trust in you. All my life is in your hands. Your power, your strength, God, you will not delay. In every storm you reign. Your power, your strength, God, you will not delay. In every storm you reign. I trust in